Hey, how's it going? David Taub here with Epic Guitar Instruction. Hope all's going well, and I hope your guitar and musical journeys are going famously. Today I have a lesson for the beginners. We're going to learn the intro riff and maybe a couple other parts to AC/DC Hell's Bells, that very identifiable part, right? And when you're first starting out on guitar, it can be really motivating and empowering just to learn some licks of some famous songs so you're playing something recognizable and identifiable. Even if you're not ready to play the whole song yet, I'm going to show you a very easy way where you could play this lick using basically just one finger. So this is a beginner version of this. It's just a really special thing, when you learn that first riff or first few riffs or first parts of songs, and then you play them for somebody. And Hell's Bells was released in 1980 on the Back in Black record, which is the 7th record from AC/DC. And the song is in standard tuning, so go ahead and tune your guitars low to high, E, A, D, G, B, and E. And before you're rocking, if you could do me a huge favor, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel, that really helps us to keep bringing the content, and then you'll be notified when we have new lessons posted, right? And leave a comment below. Let us know how you like this lesson. Let us know what lessons you'd like to see coming up on the channel. And if you like the video, please click the like button, give it a thumbs up, share it, and thank you so much for your support. So I got a little chunky guitar tone going on, dialed up. A little light overdrive and just a little bit of reverb. I'm playing a 96 Gibson Les Paul Standard Limited Edition guitar. And I'm got the guitar plugged right into the interface, Steinberg UR22. From there, I'm going into the computer. The recording program behind me is Logic X, and the guitar tone is just a plug-in in TH2 overloud. So the song starts off with that famous death bell ringing, and then you have that really famous kind of trademark lick that comes in, and he plays that lick 5 times. It changes on the 6th time. So let's go over the bass lick. It'll sound like this. Let me play it, and I'll go back and explain it. Repeats. All right, so what you want to do is you want to have this open A string ringing throughout that lick, letting the notes ring and kind of bleed into each other. So here's that first part slow, and notice how I'm going to mainly be using just this first finger as a bar to get most of the lick. Fret on the G string. Then with your first finger, use your first finger for the next chunk of the licks. Bar it across the D and the G string because you're going to be playing 7th fret D, 7th fret G, 7th fret D, and then open A again. Then move that first finger down a whole step, 2 frets to the 5th fret, keeping it barred on those same 2 strings because you're going to play that G string, D string, and A string again. So far, slow. So then take your first finger and just bring that back to that 7th fret because you're going to play the G string 7th fret, the D string 7th fret, open A string twice. So real slow, you have this so far. Hear the notes ringing into each other? See, then you hit that A string twice, and then the second part of the lick, 9th fret again, you do the same thing you did before. 9th fret on the G, and then 7th fret with your first finger barred on the D, G, D, open. Then 5th fret. Now 5th fret, again, come right up. G string, D string, open, and then 7th fret with your 3rd finger on that G string. So that second time around. And then you're going to play these 3 chords. So you're going to play a C5, first finger on your 3rd fret on the A string, and then 5th fret on the D string. Then you're going to play a G over B. I grabbed that by just leaving my 3rd finger there on the 5th fret of the D, but now you got to play the 2nd fret of the A string. Now, if you can't reach it, I have big hands so I could stretch, no problem. Use your 2nd and 4th fingers on that C5, then leave your pinky down, and then just grab that with your first finger. Or you could just play with your first finger and your pinky on the C5, and then just bring your first finger back a half step. to get the G over B. And now you're just going to play A5, which is your open A string and second fret on the D and G. So real slow the whole thing. And you do that 5 times. Now the 6th time you're going to play the beginning. Now you shorten it. Alright, so that's the 6th time. When you shorten it, you just play that open A and then 9th fret like you did before on the G string. Then bar with your first finger, 7th fret, D, G, D string, and open A. And then you're going to play G5 chord twice, and you could play that with your second finger on the 3rd fret, and then have that second finger kind of fall over because it's muting the A. You don't want to hear the A string. Open D, open G, 3rd fret on the B and the high E. If you'd rather just play the 4-finger G like you're probably familiar with, you can. A little bit more closer to the record as he's doing these power chords, these 5th chords. And then you play D. Just your open D chord, and then you play those 3 chords we did before. Okay, just that last part slow. Alright, and if you want to try the next lick as a bonus, we could do that, and that would be this. It would sound like this. And then it goes right into the first verse, I'm Rolling Thunder. Okay, all you're doing there is you're going to play this little A5 chord, 7th fret on the D and 9th fret on the G. Then, with your first finger, bar like you did in the intro, the 7th fret on the D and the G. And that's kind of like a D5 chord. So you get this. And then go back to A5. Now move that bar down to the 5th fret, because then you're going to play 7th fret like you did before, 7th fret on the D and the G, 5th fret on the D and the G. So 7th fret here is like a D5. You get that movement. And then if you want to try to give it some vibrato, that's a little bit of a more advanced technique. Kind of shaking those notes. Then open A string, and just those 2 chords, the C5 and the G over B, where you got to stretch or use your pinky. Right? Slow. Does it again. With those licks, you know, continue to learn little licks and bits of songs. It's very empowering and motivating, and eventually you'll have enough time under your belt where you could learn the whole song, right? Enjoy it. Remember, subscribe to the channel because that really helps us to keep bringing the content, and then you'll be notified when we have new lessons posted. And don't forget, click on that link in the YouTube description box below, and I'll send you my killer essential chord changing fret hand techniques guide, right? It's packed with exercises and lessons. The video lesson is awesome. It's extended play. It's not on YouTube. I pair it with an ebook that has more chord charts in it and more lessons. Click below. I'll send it to you for free. And if you want to hear some of my original music, I recently dropped a new record with my original band Mind Cell. We're based out of San Diego. It's a slamming record. I'm really stoked about it. I think it's some of the best music I've ever written. It's streaming on all the platforms. I'll put links to that in the YouTube description box below. Check it out. Let me know what you think. And if you have any questions on the songs or maybe the gear I used or the songwriting or the studio techniques, whatever, drop me a line. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support over the years and years. So appreciated. And remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. So enjoy the journey. Take care, rock on, and I'll see you in the next lesson.